Hi, my name's Laura Jeffery, founder of Recurring Revenue Rocks, and I wanted to make this testimonial, I suppose, case study for Emma because I have worked with her on a one-to-one basis for a one-to-one session. I reached out to Emma because I was at a point in my business where I was actually, really doing well with one of my programs, and I was considering adding in a different type of program, and I really wanted to just chat it through with someone who totally would get where I was coming from, someone who was already really, really successful in their own business, and someone who I could just kind of like chew the fat with, have a chat through what my goals were, where I was at the moment. And talking to Emma was a fantastic experience because she immediately saw through exactly where I was at. She understood very deeply, quickly where I was at, and she was able to make new suggestions about how to take my business forward. And that was exactly the help that I needed at that precise time, because I think as business owners, especially when we're working on our own, like solopreneurs, it can be very easy to get up in our own heads where we're just kind of like maybe going around in circles on a particular idea that we've got. And for me, I'm a big action taker. I love kind of like cracking on, making a decision on something and just making progress quickly. Whereas the particular challenge which I was thinking about, like introducing this new program, I was going around in circles with it, around in my own mind. And I knew that I needed someone who really knew what they were talking about, someone straight talking, who would be able to just run through it with me and to listen to what I had to say. Because sometimes I think, especially when we're working on our own, it can be like we just end up with this kind of one-way conversation with ourselves, and it can end up in a feedback loop in our own minds. So I knew that Emma was definitely the one for me to reach out to. I love her energy. I love how clear she is. I love how no nonsense she is. And she actually helped me to really look at the situation that I had in a slightly different, from a different angle. And it actually just kind of shone a light on some different areas which I could be working on, which would help me to reach my goals a lot quicker. So I'm incredibly thankful to Emma for that, for taking the time to understand me as an individual and working with my energy and the way that I am. And I think she's got a really great way of, she's got a gift of perception. Like she really does understand very quickly what you're like as an individual business owner, and what potential you have available to you. So I think there's always this whole thing, isn't there, about like us getting in our own way. And it's so true. It doesn't matter how high up you go, how much further down the line you are, you will still run into these problems. And as Emma said, we have always got our own blind spots, right? So it doesn't matter how much you're turning over a year, whatever, you've always got your own blind spots, and you need to just be able to talk, which I really appreciated with Emma. She just let me talk and say about my situation and the challenge that I was facing. And she listened, and then she turned it around on its head, and she showed me a different perspective, which I really, really appreciated, because I hadn't been able to see it because of my own blind spot. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to Emma. Really appreciate our time together. I know that we'll carry on working together in the future, because she is just such a bright, very spirited, very clever lady, and I really, really appreciate her time and working with her on my own business. So if you're thinking about working with Emma on a one-to-one basis or going across into her membership, I would highly, highly recommend working with Emma. She's an absolute pleasure to work with. So thank you, Emma. And yeah, if you're thinking about investing in working with her, don't think about it for too long. Just go ahead and dive in.